Hey there guys, in this video we're going to be going to the final stage for Rufus crowns and then going to the EX stage for the weapon for Crisis Core. So the Rufus crown stage is very easy. You know, it is Final Fantasy VII locked, but this boss has a break gauge, and anytime a boss has a break gauge, it's super easy because we've got things like Ashura and Behemoth with the break passive. Okay, so what we're going to do for this boss, we're going to start with any unit dual wielding either a greatsword, rod, or a staff. So Rufus is dual wielding greatswords, and we'll use the barrage material with dual wield. That's going to get rid of most of the break gauge on turn 1. Now our Reno is also dual wielding either greatsword, staff, or rods. So we're going to triple, we're going to break, and then hit the boss twice with Reno. And that should be the end of the break gauge right there on turn 1. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and just OTK the boss, because when the break gauge is down, if you got the break passives, or just, you know, the boss is squishy regardless. Even if you don't have them, it's probably an easy OTK. So we're going to use Sisney to LB and Sonnen to LB. They chain together, and Aerith is going to start with her shifted LB as the first action to buff up, and extremely easy. So there's our Rufus crowns, one of the easiest crown fights you'll ever do. Rufus literally just dual wielding great swords. I gave him equip great sword, dual wield, and barrage. Other than that, who cares? Aerith totally naked, literally just a buffer. Other than that, who cares? Reno dual wielding rods. Other than that, who cares? Sisney is just geared for LB damage versus machines. There it is. There's the setup. She's maxed on everything, and you don't need to be geared this well. Like I said, the boss died like before the chain even got to 20%. And then Sonnen, same thing, LB damage versus machines, and there we go. So I probably overgeared the free units way more than I needed to, but whatever. Now, as far as Rufus crowns, you know, I never want to say that you can trade in the crowns for a gold, because there might be some fight in the distant future where all of a sudden you'll regret cashing in the silver crowns and not using them. That being said, Rufus's silver crowns are one of like the weakest we've ever seen, so I can't really see a reason to save them. But then again, like I said, who knows? Maybe one day Rufus gets like an EX upgrade or something, and then he becomes amazing, and you regret cashing in his crowns. You make the decision yourself, but honestly speaking, I'll probably just silver crown him just because, even though he's still pretty worthless even after crowns. Okay. See you in... Oh, we gotta do the other fight. Let me change the team for the other fight and be right back. Hey there, guys. We're now going to be going to the Fallen from Pride. Now, this fight was nerfed on Global, so they took away the Final Fantasy VII mission, meaning you can take anything you want, which means this fight is very simple for us on Global. So it is a 5-race fight, but we're going to just take a 3-man party, because really, it doesn't matter. This fight is so easy. So we're going to be just taking Dwayne, Vaughn, and Esther to not get in here and knock it out. Like, you can definitely take a full party, and you should. It'll be over in like 2 or 3 turns at the most. But just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and use Dwayne as my only damage dealer. So we'll use Vaughn to break, and then we'll do Esther to energizing, True Storm, and electromagnetic. And then Dwayne can fire imbue, blood shield, and just deal some damage to the boss. Yeah, so Dwayne is a tag chainer, and he's mostly self-sufficient, and we're going to have some fun with it. Now, even though I've said like in 4 different videos, Dwayne is not great on fights that dispel, this boss dispels himself, and we have to dispel him as well. So again, it's not going to be the greatest Dwayne showcase, but it won't really matter that much. So we're going to just Extreme Nova with Vaughn to support chain, and then Dwayne can use his LB. We'll deal some damage here. Esther can do her LB as well, just to refresh the Omni Killer. Not the Omni Killer, the Omni Cover. And yeah, so as far as what the boss does, physical damage, lightning magic, non-elemental magic. Esther absorbs the thunder, which is super easy. And there we go. So now let's go ahead and Um, the boss is going to dispel himself in just a second, which is, irritating, but whatever. So let's go ahead and just triple bolting with Esther. We're going to save the SLB of Vaughn, because like I mentioned, the boss is going to dispel himself in just a second. Dwayne can use his Atonement Magnus, and we'll go ahead and just chain this up. And again, just, kind of whatever. With Omni Cover, we don't really care what the boss does. The dispels and all are just slowing us down. So the Roar right here, there it is. Roar is a perfect dispel of the boss. These are undispellable breaks, but the good breaks and all have been dispelled. So we have to reapply all that. Kind of annoying. Okay, so Vaughn will go ahead and... we're not going to SLB this turn. We're going to have to break again in a second. So we're just going to Magnus, Oil, and whatever. So we're going to use Dwayne on this turn to SLB to get his Magnus back, and Esther will as well. And like I said, I'm just taking a three-man party and making this 100 times harder than it needs to be, just to show you that you can stall in this fight as long as you need. You don't have to have a crazy powerful team to get this done quickly. So we'll use Dwayne on this turn to, I'm thinking, let's Oath, Fire Imbue, and Ravager. So Vaughn can... We're going to have to dispel the boss again next turn, by the way. We can just guard Esther. Okay, so once again, we are going to have to dispel the boss because the boss is irritating. So defense and spirit buff. We're going to dispel the boss with an Esper. We'll just use the dispel ability. Don't use an item, because that will fail your mission, and then we'll break again with Vaughn, and we'll use the SLB of Dwayne, or the LB, and there we go. And next turn, we will kill the boss off for good. Okay, let's use Esther to reapply some killers, her energizing thing. And I should have done that last turn, actually, because they actually wore off. And then Dwayne can just use his Magnus again, and that should be the end of Angeal Penance. And there we go, 7 turns with a single damage dealer. So no items, no continues, no KOs. Super, super easy. So Esther is just evading, Omni Cover, Lightning Absorb, some auto healing, etc. Vaughn, honestly, the gear is irrelevant. Fire weapon, support chaining. Other than that, who cares? And then Dwayne is damage. So the boss is a, oh god, let me look. Beast, Bird, Aqua, Demon, Human. So Beast, Bird, Aqua, Demon, Human. Our killers are kind of all over the place. 300, 200, 125, 250, and 125. There's the setup. There we go. So Dwayne is geared decently well. But again, we had 3 party slots empty, so you can use whatever you want. This one's really not hard. Yeah, the whole challenge of these weapon quests are the special mission for like series lock. It is an optional mission, but Global is taking them away, which makes them whatever. Just you can just totally curb stomp it. And like I mentioned, Dwayne does everything. So there it is. There was our 3-unit clear for the Angeal fight. Now it is time for me to go get ready for Dark Visions. See you in a bit.